we are on our do-it-yourself lace closure wig. While I will not be talking much, I will be paying attention to the comments as much as I possibly can. And in case this is something you want to tempt yourself on, smell it, because I'm smelling for that perfume shea butter I put on here a couple days ago. Yeah, we're working on a pretty much, you know, is definitely over 10 inches of hair. We add inches to the wig, and so we are on 2/3 of the wig. We're almost done. So without further ado, we're gonna lock in here. Let me grab my hair because that is important. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to open up another bag of this in a little bit. But yeah, please be respectful in the comments. And I mean that whether you speak English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, or anything else. I will try my best to answer questions you have about this process. And I thank y'all for rocking with me. We're almost done. We're on the 2/3 of the wig. We did one section. Let me show you what we're working with here. And now we're working on the second third, and then that's the last part before we silk press it, because it has to happen. And then I will show y'all what it looks like once I let all the hair down. And with it looking amazing.
If you'd like protection
Alright, so we see that we're coming across a seam, and I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Anytime you come across a seam, whether you are sewing tracks, or in this case we're crocheting the hair straight across to create, I don't want to say the illusion, but the look of tracks. Usually what takes place is if you sew or crochet, whatever you do that across the seam, it shrinks the size of the wig where you can't wear it. And now you got to find somebody else to wear it, especially if you were the one planning on doing it. Jenna says, how do you do? We're working on a do-it-yourself lace closure wig. So right now, we're coming across a little seam here. That little part here, that's going to seem going in the opposite direction of where we mapped it out with an eyeliner pen. Cosmetic grade. We now have to figure out how we're going to fill this in without crocheting on the seam. Hey CJ, how do you do? Well, we're on a do-it-yourself lace closure wig, so I did the closure first. We're on 2/3 of the wig. We split it into 3. So as soon as we're done with this, we're going to start on that. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is just fill it in here. This is the first time I've encountered a space like this. Let me zoom you out so you can see everything. Okay. We're just going to slip knot it. I already know I'm going to have to open up another bag of this hair. All these inches of this hair. This is one where you maximize packs of braiding hair. So, and these things come out looking fire. If you don't know what that looks like, then go a couple of videos back and you'll see me wearing it. So it's important for you to take your time with everything. I did. I grew up doing hair since I've been a teenager. Long time. So I had to. Because hairdressers were expensive then. I know what that number means. I'm not repeating it. I'm not repeating it. I'm not saying it. I'm not meeting no requests saying no numbers of any kind. I know what that means. I won't be agreeing with everything. Like, but that's why I'm a person. This channel is a channel of research. Oh, look it up. Look up what 6'7" means. Look. See, I rebuked that. Mm-mm. I don't play with it. Once I found out what it meant, I'm like, I knew that was God. He placed it in front of me. I didn't have to even look for it online. He placed it right in front of me for me to see it. I wasn't even looking for it. Oh, this certain number, the number that comes after the number 66, it means this. And I'm like, oh, word. That wasn't a coincidence, because somebody just days prior, not even a week prior, asked me on one of my lives, say this number. Right, lies you tell. I grew up doing hair. That's the short answer. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of coming to agreement with stuff. I need to know what it means first. Then I can decide what I want to do. I encourage y'all to do the same. So whether I'm talking about hair, I say go do your research. In this case, if I'm teaching you something, ask the questions. That's fine. As long as you know, respectful. If I'm teaching about hygiene, I tell you go do your research. I'm like, I like this product, but tell me what y'all think. Or I don't like it as much, or I think maybe they could do this to it. I give constructive criticism. And I'm be like, y'all do research for yourself. This is how I feel about it. Y'all may feel different. I believe in honesty, so. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about, Genesis? Nah, babe, Once I figure out what it meant, I'm like, so they think this is cool to walk around saying it? I'm not making fun of nobody who is walking around saying it, because I realize, here's the thing. I realize that there are some people walking around and they do not know what it means, and they think they're saying it to be cool. There's a such thing called peer pressure, and do you know? Wait for it. Drum roll. Peer pressure doesn't stop at high school. Peer pressure doesn't stop at college. Peer pressure doesn't stop at adulthood. There's peer pressure everywhere, no matter your age. So you might as well buck up and get ready for it. Peer pressure's everywhere. When I found out what it meant, I'm like, I knew that was God telling me, like, this is what it means. That feeling that you had, that you didn't want to say it and you felt off, that wasn't for no reason. I got you. That's why I love God. Because he was looking out for me. He knew. Something I don't understand. I'm a person, I'm a forever student, meaning I'm a lifelong student. So no matter how much I'm teaching y'all, even though I've been doing stuff like this since I've been a teenager, I'm still learning how to do it even better. But why would you do? I just want to get better for me. And that's okay. You don't want to ever get to a point where it's just like, oh, well, I got it. I'm done. I don't need to learn no more. Because what? Can you imagine the amount of people, they was good with a certain operating system of a computer, only to find out that they done kept it for as long as they can. Now you must update it in order to continue doing this. What? Oh, I knew that would come in there. It's okay. You can share your opinion. I'm not in agreement with it. Because you'll come up in there and people will be like, oh, it's no big deal. It just mean this. No. Because I understand what the Bible says about what comes out of your mouth. When you speak it, you're not just speaking it. When you speak it, it's going to come to pass. The Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So let me give you the hood translation. the hood translation of that. If you say you're going, I'm going to use an example. If you say, "Oh, you know what? I feel tired." Instantly you start feeling tired. You want to know why you felt tired? Because you spoke that. You didn't just speak that, you declared it. When you speak something, you declare it. And because I understand that, that's why when we walk around, people be like making requests or demands. They be up there be trying to be demanding in the comments. Like, nah, look here, bruh. Look here, sis. Ain't nobody demanding nothing. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna hit pause. I'm finna look this up, even if I can't look it up immediately on a live stream. Or if they leave on a video, okay, well, I may not be able to look it up right then, but I'm gonna make some time to look it up and do deep research. It might be giving a little bookworm, it might be giving a little nerd. It's okay. I'm not ashamed of that. But until I understand what it means, nah, bro, they ain't flying out my mouth. It's okay. What we're not going to do is throw and slang insults. What we're not going to do is insult anybody's intelligence. So I forgive you for your inflammatory comment and I release you into the complete freedom of my forgiveness. That is what's going on. So I can tell you're offended because of the way you started with your most recent response. I'm actually very nervous for you because a person that's not afraid to say they're offended and realize, let me newsflash. I'm not even being sarcastic here. I realize you don't know me. And for you to talk to me like you know me and you're instantly offended, we just having a conversation. Let's remind everyone in the room here. I'm telling you this because I love you. I'm not offended. I realize that's an inflammatory comment and it was meant to get me offended. I'm actually nervous for you. I'd be scared at people that's just not afraid to be like, pew, 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 let me say something crazy. Because I've seen the end result of what happens, even if I never see or speak to you again. I know God's going to allow you to have an encounter with someone or a situation where you're going to then begin to understand the humanity of a person and that it's not okay to throw your offense at others. This ain't even a personal conversation, baby. It's not. It's not that serious. We talking about slang terms, baby. And you offended? Let me ask you something. See, this is why I do this all the time. This happened about what 2 weeks ago with another person. If you mad and had a bad day, just say it, baby. That's all you got to do. If you had a bad day, just say that instead of giving off that you're totally offended. Okay? Cause I have seen people talk to me crazy, and bam, I come back around, and God allows us to cross paths. Oh well, I get an apology. Not that I'm ever holding my breath for one, or either the next time we cross paths, God allows it. Their whole perspective on that thing is different. I can feel they want to give me an apology, but they're too embarrassed because they showed their whole bottom. They showed their whole derriere. So we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that, ma'am. You are totally offended, and I encourage you to repent. I really do. Ask God for forgiveness. There is something there where you get so easily offended over a slang term. Okay? I'm gonna tell you a quick testimony. You know what this remind me of? I ain't finna call no names. God has given me permission. Now I got to leave some parts out because God telling me to, and I don't know why, but only He know why. So this this situation came out about has sparked something, a good testimony. So something good, something great is coming out of this. So maybe somebody need to see this. See that's the Bible says that to shine your light so that all men can see. I might not have the exact word. Basically live your life in such a way, because some people is just they stop going to church. And let me remind you that going to church is not necessarily make you saved. It's what you do in your private time, in your relationship with God, that determines that. Oh, why was I laughing, Genesis? Oh, I laugh it off. I laugh it off. That's not faking. Like, I literally was trying to hold back laughter while I was addressing Miss Lady. I do that. I laugh at stuff like that because I realize that it's a setup. I realize it's a setup to make me get offended and throw me off. Baby, I don't have time for that. And even if I did, you gonna get me in trouble with God, and then you gonna get in trouble as well, separately. You ever heard the phrase where they have toy commercials to accessories sold separately? Yeah, butt whooping from God sold separately. Okay? Okay. All right. So, back to the testimony. So, I remember this one particular time I was communicating with this person, because this is what this reminded me of. God dropped it in my spirit. He said, I was talking to this person, and at first they were acting like really friendly, really nice, and talking good. And so they said, "Oh, just tell, what's been going on with you in your life." And so I already felt off about it. And so I said, God, I don't know. I don't feel good about this. I don't have a good. You ever had that feeling you just don't feel good about entering a conversation with somebody? I had one of them feelings, okay? And so I said to myself, I said, I don't think it's safe to tell. I don't think it's safe to tell this person stuff. You can tell when they fishing for info. Okay. So I said, God, what do I do? Now, I forgot his exact words, but he pretty much, to summarize, he said, tell as little as possible. Paraphrasing, because I don't remember the exact words God gave me. So that's what I did. I told as very little as possible, and I testified about something else. I said, well, God took care of me in this area, such and such. Genesis, I know you're not trying to offend me, baby. It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, and so I shared a little tidbit, a morsel about a testimony that something God did for me while I was on this phone call with this person. That I did not feel safe telling it all in great detail because I just had a feeling it just felt off, right? So I told that little bit, and I could tell through their voice that they weren't being genuine. It's called discernment. That requires a deep study. Y'all gonna have look. I didn't plan on having a Bible study on here, but God be doing what He want to do. Okay, I kid you not. We got off the phone. I said, real polite and everything like that, and I still felt off. Would you know? Listen carefully. Would you know exactly 7 days later? By the time I got back on the phone with this person, okay, listen carefully. By the time I got back on the phone with this person, then that little bit of information I told, because God told me share as little as possible, paraphrasing, because I don't remember the exact words. Exactly 7 days later, by the time I got back on the phone with this person, they started spewing. They started speaking negative. Remember that Bible verse I just said just earlier before this whole situation transpired in the comments? Yeah. Exactly 7 days later, the little sliver of information that I told them and I testified about something that God did for me. I can't remember what it was at that point. Um, but it was something God did for me. They started saying, oh, well, such and such. They started saying the opposite of everything. Oh, well, this ain't so and so, and this ain't that. I could tell offense was in this person's heart. And so when they started speaking negatively about something I spoke about positively, and I was excited about it, full of joy because God took care of something for me, that just let me know that revealed offense in their heart, that revealed jealousy in their heart, that revealed envy in their heart. They just wanted me to tell all my information because they wanted something to attack. They wanted something to feed off of. Misery loves company, okay? Basically. So I say all that to say this. Whenever I see a person start getting offended and we only having a conversation, baby. If you get mad because we having a conversation, you have work to do. Seriously, you have work to do. And I say this not because I'm not even being sarcasm. I'm not even being sarcastic. Sarcastic. Okay? I want you to see I'm not being sarcastic. I'm telling you this because I love you, baby. I'm telling you this. Baby, if you get offended like that from a simple conversation, you have a whole lot more to work on than you think you do. That's why I quickly forgive people. And do you know I never edit this stuff back? I never. Who got time? I never edit this stuff out. This ain't the first time I've had to do this. I forgive you, and I leave it at that. You can go back and watch it many times you want to. I've done a video on forgiveness. Matter of fact, as soon as this live stream is done, I'm going to put it on the community tab. It says if forgiving people is hard for you, this one thing helps me do it. And then I go over it in great depth. I'm laughing throughout it then because I be nervous for people. I really do. People be thinking you be kidding. You ever met a person and it's like you try your hardest to be mean to them, and it's like they're just so kind, like bless your heart, because they already know that you've not arrived at a level and reached a level of maturity where you're not easily offended, and you prioritize what's really important in life. Right now, baby, in my 30s, my priorities, by the grace of God, is straight. I don't have time to worry about that. Why do I have time to worry about conversation about slang? We're supposed to be laughing instead of getting offended, baby. As soon as I saw that first line in that sentence, I didn't even bother with reading it. Cause why? You have, but the moment you responded in that way, I'm realizing, okay, she's not yet arrived at a level at which that she can have a conversation and be unoffended and walk away from it and it not be the end of the world. It's okay. That means she has work to do. That's all. It might be cute in your 20s. It might be cute in your teens. But 30, baby, it's very... Some people be talking about you behind your back. I'm going to talk to you instead of about you. I'm going to talk to you, sweetheart. I'm not even calling you these terms of endearment to be funny. I want you to see I'm serious. That's why I'm getting close, so you can see me. I love you enough to tell you the truth. You've got to do some work, because for you to get offended over a conversation about slang means you have a whole lot of work to do. And the God that I serve always warns us because he loves us, because he doesn't want us to meet those consequences. So I sincerely do hope and pray to God that you get the help before you before you encounter someone and start having a conversation with someone, and they may not handle it as well, and then you fist fight. Because if you can't handle the conversation here, and I'm not saying you can't handle the conversation, but if you handle The next conversation, this way, in person or online, the person might respond differently than me. They may not tell you, I love you and I forgive you and I sincerely hope you get the help that you need. They may cuss you back out. Okay? And in case for those wondering, I'm a former cusser. God delivered me from cussing. I might just have to do a video about how, testify about how God delivered me in that area. Now, have I come close to it? I'm going to save that for the video. It's okay. It's okay, Genesis. It's all right, Mama. It's all right. I have no problem with none of y'all. Not even the person that started her comment to begin with. It is okay. I realize she's not at a level of maturity, and I don't say this as an insult at all. I realize you're not at a level of understanding in which you can have conversation and dialogue and it be fun. What just happened? Live. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So we had a conversation here from Jamira. Um, Somebody said something about, the number that comes after 66, and how I learned it was a slang term, and somebody wanted me to say it on a live stream about a few weeks ago, and I refused to say it because I kind of felt off about it, and so literally not even a week later, God allowed me to, I wasn't even searching for what 6-7 means. I just was like, God, I got a bad feeling about this. I don't know what it means. Could you tell me what it means? He placed it right in front of me without me having to look for it, search for it, actively go to Google. And then I said, oh, okay, thank you. And so we started talking about the comments, and you could scroll up. I almost gave Jamara a block trophy, but you know what? It's the grace of God. You tell the Lord thank you, because otherwise you'd have got a block trophy. I'm telling you this because I love you. It's not sarcasm. Like, I'm serious. But yeah, that's the short answer. And I just got through telling the testimony about having that off feeling about a person. And then exactly 7 days later, they started being negative and getting offended too. And it's like, oh, okay. That's why I didn't feel really good about telling all my business. Yeah, go ahead and scroll a bit. I don't really delete much. I don't really edit much. Hello, Amal. Welcome. We done started having some life conversations in here while we working on Red. I love when God go to work like that. It's amazing. It's amazing. But to continue what I said, I'm at a point in my life, and I know it's nobody but God. When I can have a conversation with a person and I not get offended, and the other person get offended, and I realize, I have been in many conversations like that where I've never said it to the person, but it was just an internal thing, an internal conversation with God, and I'm like, he or she, they're not there yet. They're not there yet at the level of understanding. So I'm not, you know what? It's not even worth having it, addressing it. Now, the only way I'll address it is what the Lord just asked me to do. The Lord just asked me to address it. Like, you need to say something. And so we're saying something. And so I say all of this to you, young lady, with love. Even if you clicked off the live and run it back later. Because obviously somebody needed to see this, and so I'm not editing it out. Somebody need to see it. Because maybe somebody gonna run this back and maybe they feeling offended towards somebody. And they need to see it. I'm all about the betterment of a person. If I realize you're not at a point where you can receive a conversation, we're having a conversation about slang, and you getting offended and fired, no, rebuke. Nope, we're not gonna do that. We finna nip this in the bud immediately. I'm gonna either not say it to you and have the conversation internally with the Lord and go to him with it, or I'm going to do the same thing but address you first. Always respectfully, and I'm going to immediately forgive you. Because I'm not going to sleep with that. I start laughing because I be getting nervous for people. I be getting nervous for people when they be saying something crazy to me. That's the gist of it. I'm at a point in my life, and all of that, what I just described, hold on, let me pull this up. All of this, what I just described, is basically a form of emotional intelligence. When you realize you can have a conversation with a person and you're able to observe and discern, it gets, the only way you're going to have very sharp emotional intelligence and discernment is to have a relationship with God, with Jesus Christ. Emotional intelligence is the ability, I want to give my definition of what I've learned it to be, is to be able to interact with people and discern and know when something is off, when something is wrong, or when something is right, not necessarily all the time wrong. You're able to catch on to their emotions and catch on to the way, the inflection, the way in which they're speaking, and be able to tell whether or not they're at a they're in the, on the same level as you, to be able to handle it or not. That's my definition of it. Now, as a channel of research, I'm always a person. Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. Go do research on emotional intelligence. Go get your own relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Baby, mess around here. Altar call on here before before we had the live strike. That's beautiful. That ended beautifully. That ended beautifully. But yeah, I'm at a point in my life. If we can't have we can't have a dialogue without folks getting upset and offended. Let's not have the conversation at all. Let's not do it, baby. It's too much going on in the world. It's too much going on, baby, for you to be getting offended over talking about slang. Please do elaborate, Liv. I got time today because God gave me permission. So y'all gonna make me go off to the side and look it up. Well, somebody do me a favor and look up what the number that come after 66 mean as slang. Can somebody do that for me? I don't know how to highlight comments on here. So the best I can do is shout y'all out till I figure out how to highlight comments. I'm at a point in my life I don't have time for it. I like having healthy discussion, dialogue, even if it feels like it's a hard conversation. I've had interestingly higher level of difficulty type of conversations with those I call associates, friends, or whatever. I've had harder conversations with them. And at the end of it, we're able to come out of it and laugh. If you're not able to do that, you're not ready for them level of discussions. There is something there. I don't mean something wrong with you. I mean, there's something there you need to work on. And that's okay. I'm encouraging you to go work on it. There's too many resources out there, baby. Work on it. Work on that easily getting offended, because it's going to cost you a whole lot more than what you think it will. Welcome to the live, Anna. We're having life discussion by working on. Oh, we. And if you see me laughing, I'm not laughing at the person. I'm laughing because I've been there before and I understand what it is to have a conversation with a person. And you can't say 2 or 3 words or sentences without them getting offended. That means there's something within them they have not worked on, and they've not settled and come to terms and peace within themselves. And the only way you're gonna come to terms and peace with it is a relationship with Jesus Christ and therapy. Preferably a good saved one. Okay, that's all. Because if you can have a conversation and disagree with a person without beginning to insult them, click off. Right. And I saw the definition of what somebody said it was, and I wasn't about to play with it, baby. Wasn't about to do it. I may have to do research, but God let me know. I God let me know days after somebody asked me to say it on live, and I refused. He let me know, okay, here it is. He put it in front of me without me having to actively go search for it. He didn't want me to look for it. He just, okay, I got you. You say you don't feel really good about it. You got a bad feeling. Cool. Let me put it in front of you. I said, cool. Made me feel better about it. That's one great thing. That's one reason of many that I love to encourage people to do research on things for themselves. No matter what it is. Hair, hygiene, perfume, life, anything. Bible says, for my people perish for lack of knowledge. God wants you to be well informed as well. He wants you to be an active student as well. I think we're so used to people having educational programs, and then they get you to a point of you graduate that maybe it creates a perception of, well, you don't need to learn no more. No, that's when the learning begins. That's when the learning begins, baby. Your learning shouldn't stop at just high school. Your learning shouldn't stop if you had a chance to go to college. Your learning shouldn't just stop after you go to college the first time if you went. Your learning shouldn't stop there. You should do your own independent learning. And then you have to be real discerning about what you're learning too. Because we don't want you to get, you know, we don't want your brain to go through a rinse cycle like clothes. There's a reason why I'm saying it like this. Who knew I would get on this live tonight and having live discussions? Ain't that beautiful? About slang. Offer conversation about slang. I was smiling, but I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm at peace with it. Just like them folks doing clock it. As soon as I found out what clock it was, I said, oh, let me dial that back. I'm leaving that alone. And I still got to do research on that. You don't have a good feeling about anything, you go directly to God with that thing. Hey God, I ain't got no good feeling about this. Show me what it means. Granted, you may be going down a rabbit hole, but it'll be worth it. Rather than just saying it and coming to agreement with it and then being ignorant. And I say ignorant meaning you don't know no better. I don't say ignorant as an insult at all. Most people hear the word ignorant and immediately feel insulted, but it matters the context in which you're using the word. That's with any word. Now, I'm not editing none of this out because maybe somebody need to watch it. Maybe somebody need to watch it. Maybe somebody need to see the whole exchange. You never know what a person is going through. I wish people knew that about those who work and service the public for jobs. Like, talking to people who fix your food, you talking to them crazy? Baby, that's a big no-no. Talk to them people with respect. You have no idea what's going on with them back in their kitchen, how they're being talked to and treated. Okay, if I see you talking to them crazy like that, I ain't gonna want to go out nowhere with you to dinner. Okay? Because you ain't gonna treat them folks right that's serving you. Anybody that's servicing you and can do nothing for you, you need to treat them folks with respect. They're serving you food, they're serving you drinks, they're serving you in any way. You need to treat them folks with respect. You have no idea what it took for them to go through that to be able to service you. I don't know what happened to people servicing the public since since 2020, but something, some light switch flipped off. I don't know. I had to see what this means. Somebody done left another slang term. I'm a person, I love to do research, and I encourage others to do it because I want you to be well informed. Because when you're well informed, you have confidence. That's why I believe that's why God has me to even teach about hygiene like that, like what to look for when you go in the store. Here's what you need to do with it. Here's how you need to spend it. This is the budget you need to have. Because the confident you are walking to that store, that means you won't overspend, baby. Who want to overspend and you not get what you want? Well, this is one I've done. There's a blonde one that's on the channel. It's in some of the thumbnails. Hit the like. Just go ahead and thumb through my channel when you get a chance once this live is over with. I just made a blonde one like this one. It was all like one ombre color, so I didn't have to mix two colors. Sorry, wrong finger. But most of the wigs I've done are on here, but most are not. I need to just go through and see how many I do have left, because I have tossed some. There was one I tossed, I regret it. I tossed my precious baby. She's full of braids. Do all of this? Yes. So what we've been doing is I've been going live and showing y'all the process step by step. We went through constructing the wig, then we finished about 3 or 4 days ago. That's what this purple part is. We finished the lace closure, then we did basically a silk press on it, if you want to call it. I silked it out. Then we divided this into 3 parts after mapping it out. Each step is on there because I realized that some people might want to do this for themselves. Ooh, I've been getting that question a lot. Typically with this style and with this method, about 3 weeks. But it depends on the texture. Like straight texture, maybe a good 3 weeks, maybe a little over 3 weeks. If you're working with curly hair, add an extra week. And it also depends. It also depends on your skill level as well. Tighten that. But it's very much worth it because you're not just, even though this is synthetic hair, if you know how to take care of it, run shea butter through it. I got a video on how to do that. I think it's live stream. Thumbnail kind of is showing you the process, and then it's called, in the title, look for moisturizing stage. I just put it on community tab. I'll be giving myself homework. But it was either that, learn how to make them, or buy them all the time. And do you see how expensive even synthetic wigs is getting? Now, there is some instances I'll buy them. The better you get, the shorter time it'll take to make it. And I think the blonde one I did just before this one, which is also on the channel, I think it took me about 3 weeks. So a little less time, but still 2 weeks. But this is something that, plan to take care of for a while. Because the moment this gets, like where I can no longer run the heat through it, or maybe I get tired of it being loose like this, I can braid every strand. It's already done for me. Now the braiding takes much longer if you're gonna do a head full of micro braids. If I ever get a request for that, it's just gonna look. I will teach you. I'm not making one for you. You might get it in a month, okay, or two. Crocheting the loose hair takes much quicker time than braiding. Okay. Ooh, I'm not sure what I want to do. Now in the past, I've done that. In the past, I've done that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it this time around. But they're not going to go to waste. I just don't. I ain't decided what I want to do yet. I love when live stream turns into live conversation or just an opportunity to just testify about how God has just done great things, not just in my life, but in all of ours, or just the opportunity to share about them. Love it. It's fun. Now, I ain't forgot y'all because I also, about the hygiene and the body care, I ain't forgot y'all. That's the only thing I can say. I ain't forgot y'all. Because I do hair, nails, pedicure. I even teach some of it. Hygiene. I also take y'all to store with me. I ain't forgot y'all. Okay. Okay, we filling this in pretty good. See, if it wasn't for that seam that's in there, I'm gonna show y'all again. If it wasn't for that seam that's in there, I would be crocheting over it and I'd have filled in this space much quicker. I'm gonna get this section done and then we finna tame these flyaways because I see them now. Welcome Kelly to the live. Hey, don't mind me, I be singing folks' names all the time. This is just something. Make it fun. making this pack of hair really stretch. I'm thinking we would have been out by now. Okay, I'm not out. That's good. This is also doing this type of process has taught me how to make a pack of braiding hair stretch. Pays to be resourceful. Here I was saying I wasn't talking much, but God was like, nah, you got to address some stuff. And it's always worth it. Always worth it when God tell you to do something. Always. Because you don't know what's on the other side of your obedience to God. Just think of how many times folks have missed out on something like really like amazing because they be like, oh, that don't make sense. God, I ain't doing it. Then God handed it to somebody who actually will do it, and then they mad. What? Like, look, you should have did it. You should have listened. Yeah, we're just closing in the gap here, and it's coming along real nicely. I'll be trying to mute a lot because there'll be television in the background, so please do excuse that. I'll be trying to think about y'all viewing experience, so that's why I do that. Same thing with me not eating on cam. Like, yeah, let me just stop that real quick. And be polite in case you have not had dinner. It's probably going to be a reminder unintentionally. And for those that's going to be running it back, turn on the comments of the live chat and then watch it through and watch what I'm saying to interact with it all. Should make sense. If it don't make sense, then rewind it back as many times as you need to, or go to God about it. That's the best I can give you. I try to break it down as best as I know how, combined with experience and combined with what God leads me to say. This is coming along quite nicely. Okay. We'll soon be in this section up here. I'm definitely gonna have to apply product because these flyaways, I'm doing my best not to complain. Let me mute this gone. I'm not sure, you know, if all this television in the background. Let's look up this phrase, Kelly. Kiera left, not Kelly. Make sure I get the names correct. Okay. Let me see. Appreciate you, Kira. I found out what it meant. I'm just, hey, I got to check stuff. Welcome to the live, Mario. So, we are working on another section of this lace closure wig, and we've been having life discussions over here. And we just added inches. Oh yeah, we got to layer that and silk that out as well, and give it a blowout, if you want to call it that. But yeah, my name is Jessica. I teach people how to smell good all day long. Bonuses, I love Jesus. I also do hair, nails, pedicure and teach how to do that in some areas. I don't know everything, y'all. I'm a forever student. I also got a lot of funny testimonies and stories to tell. Because God got a sense of humor. That man is funny. Be careful. In such close quarters. In this particular section I'm in. Okay. Alright, so let me comb this out the way. Pull this up just for a second before we get to this next section up in here. Oh, we getting close. And you'll be able to see how I close it in. I'm trimming the ends off. I'm not cutting the length. I'm just letting you know before I do it. Them split ends is what I'm after. That's it. Because it makes it look neater and it flows better. By the time I run it through heat and blow dry it and give it a blowout, basically is what I'm doing throughout each section. Alright, that's good enough for now. You see how much better that looks as opposed to, and that's not the only amount of trimming I'm going to do to the ends. But for the most part, I'm going to try to not cut all this length. Barely. Okay, so now let's put it back in position. We got this section to do. We're crocheting over the line and under the line. You see the amount of fullness it is? That's nice. And it's helping to hide where we mark everything. Now, if you're concerned about after you do this, what's going to happen to the mark, you can turn the wig inside out and use a toothbrush you don't care nothing about, brand new, not from brushing your mouth. Take conditioner and a little bit of water. Don't douse it in water. And you can kind of get rid of that after you're done attaching the hair to it, whether you're sewing or crocheting. It can prevent you from having to dip the whole wig in the tub or whatever. But it's not, I figure it's not going to be seen anyway. Or you can use hairspray, but I'll be careful about hairspray. Sticky. Helmet head, you don't want that. I know I don't. Alright, let me mute this for a little bit because I hear that television going. Hold on. Welcome to the live Anna Maria. I'm only muted because a whole lot of background noise. When it get quiet, I'm finna come off of it. We got a lot of background noise going on, but I'm gonna be right with y'all in a minute. Hang tight. get ourselves another bag. Now we're gonna open a new one. Still got a lot of background noise going. You probably can't hear it. I ain't forgot. Don't worry. I ain't forgot. just basically working our way up, crocheting over the line and underline. I'm realizing as we get close around the crown, they call this the crown of the wig, that I drew my mapping lines, my measured lines, whatever you want to call them. They're a little wide, it's particularly around this part. So that means I might have to crochet an extra line through this area to account for the space, if that makes sense. So just imagine if this was wider, me using the method of crocheting a line of hair over it and under it would still leave a bigger gap before I get to this one. Rewind it back if it don't make sense. Or either I'll have to further explain it. But that's okay too. And we still got some background noise going, so I'm gonna mute for a few more short minutes. But I ain't forgot y'all, I promise. That's for sure. Welcome to the live. Is it VKP? Doggone television in the background. Just a few more minutes. I'm here. I did address you. And that's not sarcasm, just making sure you know. so very much for being so patient. Took a while for the background noise in the television to die down. So we're at this point where we have 2 sections left, and which is really a couple rows of hair left. And you see the level of thickness. I just want you to see the level of thickness there. So just to review, we started off and we continued and we worked through getting to this point. 75%, I guess, is done of this section I'm talking about. You know what to do if you personally would not like to miss the continuation of this. We done had live chats. We done had chats about slang, which turned into chats about life and having healthy discussions, and the testimony about how God showed me not once but twice. I shared 2 testimonies. It's mixed all the way up in here, and I'm leaving it all in here. Now, if somebody want to put timestamps, you are most welcome to. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I love each and every one of you. I shall be back. I don't know when, but you know what to do if you don't want to miss the continuation. Because we might wind up having another discussion again. I don't know. It's been beautiful.